Welcome to Sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen. This show, as much as I want to say it was good, it was not. This was a bad show. With the time problem that was in it, because I felt the most biggest glaring problem of the show was time. A lot of things that were done here felt like they just wanted to wrap them up and get them over with quickly. I'll explain at the end of this show. Of this review, show. But let's open with Tyrus versus Drew. I felt this was going to be the end of the show. Seeing that this was the opening of the show instead of maybe the middle to the end, I felt, oh boy, this isn't good. This is bad. Putting Tyrus and Drew at the very opening of the show was very bad. You would want to put this, the title of your show, in the middle of the show if it had to be, or near the end of the show. Open the show, that was bad. Was the match good? You could say yes or no, it's somewhere in between. Seeing Drew kept the title, fine. The crowd still loved him. There's no problem with that. And I'll be talking about this throughout this review. There was a cute girl in there that I think the cameraman really liked. And I'll probably be showing her throughout this video since she was seen more than most of the talent was in this themed Impact. Eli Drake. Oh man. That wasn't oh man because that hurt. That was oh man, what the hell was this segment? At first, they show him on the red carpet of Impact. Eli Drake is the greatest wrestler in the universe until this segment. Was the fact of life funny? It was to a certain point. Was the button funny? Yeah, dummy. At first it wasn't bad. Now if it had more than just one saying, it would have been epic. But just one saying, it kind of brought it down. Then the bromance came out looking like the freaking Dudleys with their damn glasses on. Eli Drake was a charismatic, fun character. And the TNA, the brass in the back, just killed him to a certain extent. I felt that now, a guy who has the King of the Mountain title, who should be dealing with a Bram, who should have came out to attack a Bram after his match with Eli, it would have been better that way. But now we had the fact of life, dealing with the bromance and Jesse Goddard's. I'm sorry, Eli Drake. I'm so sorry you got screwed there because you shouldn't have been treated like that. You should be doing something interesting, and now it's no better than Grado. Let's get to the Eli and Bram match. Here's a very good question. Did anybody hear that this was a no DQ match? Because as far as I heard when I was watching it, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear a DQ match with this. I didn't see any advertisement for a DQ match. You just had Eric Young come out saying, "Get your ass out here now, Bram." See Bram still have his beard instead of shaving the entire thing off and trying a new look. Go and have a match that was like a DQ match. Well, that was very melodramatic. It would have been better if they announced it ahead of time, and would have been better at least that EY had said it when he was talking. And not even commentation was very good in this show. Commentators weren't very good. Of course, Bram won because Eli is leaving. That leads me to the next match, which came before it. And that was the Valley of Shadows match, which looked like a glorified what? Monsters Ball match? Just they call it something different as a tag match. Or you could have called it a street fight match. The only thing different is that they dimmed the lights around the ring heavily. At least not enough to make it totally dark, but to make it supposedly shadows. What? I don't know what TNA is doing here. I don't know what's going on here. They weren't doing that bad until about a month ago. And I don't know what, they're going off the rails now because they're not doing well. This should have been something good for TNA. You should have given us something good for Pop, and this was not good. Of course, Decay had to win because Robert Roode had to leave, and seeing Crazy Steve get caught into the barbed wire was okay. It did look like fake barbed wire, even though it probably was real. Then you got Robert Roode going through thumbtacks instead of the Abyss, which actually I didn't have a mind of, because seeing everyone else do the really rough stuff instead of the Abyss actually made the match a little better than it would have been. If the Abyss had gone through the barbed wire, I wouldn't have gave a damn. So it was better that Steve did it. Seeing Robert Roode go for the thumbtacks was better than the Abyss did, because the Abyss would have been boring. Because we've seen the Abyss do this all the time. And if I remember correctly, Rosemary didn't interject herself much into the match. Of course, she gave the gonads a little hit of Robert Roode. But I think it would have been better if she had been involved a little bit more. I understand her match before with Gail Kim. Maybe she was tired. But I'm hoping she'll be more involved. And why not? Why not, ladies and gentlemen, give her one of the titles? Let her do a match. Because look what's going on with New Day. New Day is doing the Freebird rule, that any one of the three can do the match. Instead of having the Abyss and Steve, why not have Steve and Rosemary? Or Steve, or, well, the Abyss or Rosemary, or Steve or Rosemary. That would have made it more, going forward will make it interesting. Let her get into a match. Don't see women wrestle with men often. That's what I want to see. Maria segment beforehand. Seeing her in front of a mirror, I didn't give a damn about. The Maria segment with Gail Kim. Seeing the little cat ears on her head. Still don't care. I don't care about Maria. If you just had a standard feud with her, instead of letting her be the Knockout's boss, would have been better. I don't want to see Maria as the boss. I'm sorry. The only boss I want to see is Sasha Banks. The real boss of professional wrestling. I'll say it in that respect. Of course, it's kind of injecting WWE into TNA. I'm only doing it for Sasha because I do like Sasha. And she's not being seen either, so. Anyway. Was this good segment? No. It felt forced. Gail is not a good actress, so she felt like she was forcing it to try and make it good, and it didn't work. Maria didn't make this interesting at all because she just seemed nonchalant. Because now she has no threat. And that's the major problem with Maria. She never had a threat in the beginning, and now she even has a less of a threat. Now she's the boss. And when it came to Rosemary versus Gail Kim, I was very afraid for Rosemary. I felt that she was going to be freaking jobbed out. I was hoping that she would not be jobbed. And she wasn't. But here's the problem with Rosemary. She can talk well. She looks good in the ring. She looks and feels good in the ring. But it would have been better if she managed to destroy Gail on her own. Of course, I didn't have a problem with the mist. And seeing Gail having mist in her face, I have a problem with. But here's the problem. Because Maria is the one in charge, I freaking don't care. Now, if Cherry Bomb comes into the mix, I'm fine with it. If any other women come into the mix, I'm fine with it. But they must get rid of Maria because I don't give a fuck right now. Particularly the show looks so bad. The Jeff Hardy segment. Oh my gosh. What the fuck was I looking at? I think this was the only thing through the entire night, next to the final match of the night, that was good. Honestly, this was the only good segment. And I know a lot of people are going to shit on it and say, I don't want to see Jeff and Matt continue their match, continue their feud. And I know a lot of people, I can understand it. And I'm sure Fool Killer 99 is not going to be happy completely about this segment. But let's be honest here. Spud was awesome. He did a decent job with Tyrus in the beginning of the show. He did. Here, he did even better. I said it before and I'll say it again. Tyrus is one of the best talkers in that company. And he shined there. Remy, looking at those boobies. The only boobies I saw that were better than her was the girl that the cameraman kept zooming in on with the frizzy curly hair. Well, not frizzy curly, the curly hair with the nice white top and the nice boobs and the cute face. Cameraman, you got great taste, but aren't you supposed to be focusing on the show? You're looking at a woman who, yeah, she's damn cute, and maybe you got a chance to see her later, but look at the freaking business in the ring. Oh my gosh. I sound like a Valley girl. Oh my gosh. This segment was good with Remy. The segment was good with Spud. Remy spitting in Jeff Hardy's face was good. Smacking his ass was good. Spud getting his ass handed to him and Remy standing over him was good. Oh, almost forgot. That little bit of Remy spitting in Jeff's face and Spud holding onto her and pulling her back, looking at her titties like this. That is what Spud's supposed to do. That is the rock star Spud I like. Spud, my boy, thank you for looking at her breast. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm making thought of Remy's breast. But that's one of the few things in the show that was good. And now let's go to the end. And that was EC3 and the Miracle Mike Bennett. I would have thought that would have been near the end of the show or the middle of the show. Well, if you're going to be honest, near the end or the middle would have been the proper place for them. But the end of the show, I was actually very surprised to see that. That they would go with EC3 directly to the end. It was telegraphed, of course, but still it was good. The match was good. And in the end, Mike Bennett finally pinned EC3. Over 30 months, or near 30 months, of non-pinning and non-submitting. I'm going like this. Instead of going non-pinned and non-submitted, EC3 now has broken his streak. He's now been pinned. I know EC3 broke his streak. You mean Mike Bennett is the one who broke EC3's streak. Focus, my friend. Focus. I'm sorry. But I guess the reason I'm acting scatterbrained here is because that's what this show gave me. I like the show. But one, there was a lot of things they just wanted to tie up and just get rid of it. And two, the major problem was that the show was too freaking short. A lot of things could have gone better. It could have. EC3 could have been the second to the last match of the night. And I know a lot of people can say Tyrus and Drew should not be ending the show. But to be honest, they should have. Because the show needed that. EC3 and Mike Bennett was not enough. This show seemed scatterbrained. And worse, it was too freaking short. Most of the matches were so short. But then the talking segment was longer than most of the matches. Look, Jeff, Spud, and Remy had a longer match than Gail Kim, then Rosemary, then Bram, then Eli. Hell, the segment between Eli Drake was not as long as the Remy, Jeff, and Spud thing. There's got to be something wrong here. They need more freaking time and they need better writers. And there was nothing more of the knockouts. There was no X Division. That was it. I state it again. X Division for freaking Explosion, TNA. Put it on there. I'm going to keep saying it. X Division for Explosion. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below how you feel. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane's view. Please give me a comment below. I would like someone's input on should I start doing NXT reviews. If I do, it'll either come out today or on Saturday. Because I do have things I have to do alongside of watching these shows and try to produce these videos. But even if it's a couple of days late, I am considering doing it. Someone tell me if they really want to see this. Because I really want to have a reason to do them. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!